welcome to the Hangout with Abby Kimani. I know you guys have been waiting for this episode for a long time because I've heard of requests for ways like Ask a Mom. Abby, you've not done Ask a Mom in a while. It's not even my channel anymore. It's my mom's channel. Well, anyways, this is my mom, Rachel Kimani. She does have her own channel.
Hi everybody. Well, I'm forever grateful when this girl calls me for her channel. I am grateful that God is working and He's using children as we grow. My channel is called Surrendered. I think you've been watching it. If you haven't watched it, kindly look out for it. It's called Surrendered with Rachel Kimani. A journey we do with our relationships everywhere, trusting God to make them light and removing our burdens and our yokes. Thank you before giving me an opportunity.
Advertise. Let me even go night to be. Okay, anyway, by the way, do you guys know my mom is more popular than me? Hiya. Actually, I'm telling you, one day we'll just be walking and I'll hear, oh my God, are you Rachel Kimani? And I'll just be there, I'm like,
please ignore that. She's just young. She does very well. And my prayer for her is that she lives within her mandate. She impacts her generation.
Amen.
Yeah.
Okay, so of course I have the questions that some of you would never ask your parents. So I'm doing it for you. So let's just move right in to number one. I'm going with the most vicious question here. You know, when you're telling stories in school, how people are beaten, when I scare too, when I say something, when I say something that I've said or that I've done, and people are like, where, if I told my parents that ningelimwa, ningenyandiliwa, ningenyorosha, ningekewa slap ingine, I'm like, so mom, is it okay to slap your children?
Well, I'm just listening to her. First, I'm impressed by that Kiswahili. Ningelimwa, ningenyanyuliwa, and all that. I think to begin with, discipline is a must. A must. And if she means a slap is discipline, there's some of us parents who think and feel unless we slap, nobody will listen. Unless we dig kulima, no one will listen. But it just depends on what kind of discipline, what type have you chosen. Some disciplinary measures, they are okay to an extent. When you slap, personally, if you're a mom, if you're a dad, and you choose discipline by way of slapping, giving your fivefold ministry like this, it might erode a lot of confidence from your son or daughter. Physical is allowed, but using the rod of correction. From the beginning, I am known and I have said it unashamedly. When Abby and the brothers were young, I used kiboko.
Yeah, you can stop there. They have understood it.
I'm joking. So don't slap anyway. You can use kiboko, and you tell your young child why at that particular time they are being beaten. But there comes a time when even that kiboko will be kept away. For the longest time, I don't remember when I used kiboko on Abby, but I used other disciplines, like a lot of maybe talking, a lot of observation. You apply different skills of discipline at different times. When you use your hand anyway to slap, you bring low esteem, you remove confidence, and your child becomes a bit shy. And every time you want to talk to them, they think you want to slap. I don't know, I think you slap a drum, not your child. But this is not permission for you children to just continue doing what you want. Discipline will come. I am for discipline. I am for kiboko all the way until we get it right.
Okay, yeah. Sure. Now, another thing is that, I watched a recent video, I'm my mom's fan. And basically you talk about parenting. You should go check out the video. I'll link it in the bio. So, Mom, do you think it's okay to shout at your children?
Oh, that's very interesting. It's normal to feel like you want to shout. I think it's a natural reaction for human beings. You feel like you want to correct somebody by shouting. I want to correct my daughter or my son by yelling. it's what comes out first. So let's agree it's more natural to feel that reaction, in something that has been done than calming yourself. In that video, I said it's hard to be composed. When you want to say something, it's hard to be calm and collected when the least expected has happened. Is it right? No. You yell maybe when you can't be heard and someone is far. But many times, why parents or guardians yell, we almost perceive you like threats. You feel like, no, this one, if I don't yell, she'll never get it. But yelling never produces anything over the time. And I am honest about this. I'm vulnerable about this. Over the time, I've grown out of shouting. I was not even a good expert in shouting, because from time to time, I learned at an early age, don't yell, don't shout. Did I shout? Yes, I did. But immediately after, I would be corrected by the very children, because they grow and they learn from what you have told them. So when you're shouting, they look at you like, look who is yelling, and look who is living what they did not tell us. So it's not right to yell. Just talk. When you feel so much under pressure, breathe in, breathe out. I remember one time my son, the firstborn, told me, have you breathed in? Breathe in and out.
Someone told me that.
And I was feeling like, now I do not want to breathe in and out. I just want to shout.
Angry child at breathing.
You will become a parent.
Then Joe, he's such like a logical person. Like he'll be like, he brings logic into everything. Like, and he'll tell a joke and he'll ruin it with logic, to the point that there's this time when he was watching TV for like a while, and I was like, you have watched TV a lot. Let me watch Hidogo. And then I think this is like this is like the third time in my entire life that I've fought for the remote. Because us in this house, no one watches TV. No one watches TV. We only watch TV during movies. And like once a month, I'm once in 2 months for news.
Sure.
So no one watches TV. So we don't fight over the remote naturally. So Nebai was like, oh, finally, you guys can fight like real siblings. And Joe was like, just take the remote, I don't fight. You're ruining the fun sponge. But anyways, if someone told me to at breathing and out, we will fight.
She's growing up. Over the time, anyway, parents, very well. The way we have learned, the way children say, parents, they put us into trouble. And the way parents, we say, these children, they have really taught us to be better parents by putting us into trouble. As children grow up, they also get tired of repetitions and don't do this, don't do that all the time. By discipline, they experientially learn to get out of the things that you repeatedly talk to them about. Yeah.
Then also, personally, when I'm angry, I tend not to shout.
I know.
I usually have a sweet sugar. Like if I'm angry, and suddenly I start talking like, oh, okay, so could you kindly explain? Know that I'm livid. I'm not even angry. I am so mad at you if I start using that voice, because I don't want to shout. Or if I start crying, because when I'm angry I start crying, because I feel like I can't express my emotions well. But shouting, the day I'll shout, that Nikubaya, you just know it's me. Nikubaya, you've crossed a line.
Although it's not bad to cry for your son or your daughter, it's part of expressing their emotions. It's part of their communication. So don't tell them, so why are you crying before we even start talking?
I thank God you don't want to be that. Okay, now you see the way parents are like, oh, they disrespect their kids. Then they expect respect from their kids.
Parents don't disrespect kids.
Not you, or not my parents, but I know there's some parents out there. So personally, I think respect is a two-way traffic, as in it goes both ways. It's earned, it's not just given. So do you think that parents should respect their kids and should treat them as if they are they're people, you understand? Or kids are just a bit less than you, so you can treat them kidogo however you want, because it's kind of justified.
Oh my, this question, and then she asks on behalf of our friends and colleagues. It means we really need to develop our relationships as parents and children, it means there's a lot that we need to do on both sides. Having said that, I think the word of God uses the word honor more than even, when you honor, you've already displayed a lot of respect. It is the role of the parent to actually raise the child and display their lives in such a way that it will be easier for the child to honor them. The way I live with you, by the way, I'm not a perfect parent. If I was a perfect parent, let's go to heaven. God wants us to parent with our imperfections, but He doesn't want us to talk about great parenting, godly parenting, by fixing things which are not real. God wants every parent, every mother, every dad, wherever they are, to live out their lives in such a way it's readable, it's legible, and their children can say, okay, when maybe I grow up, I want to be like my mom or I want to be like my dad. But when the parent does their part, it doesn't exempt the children from doing their part, whether the parents are playing their role or not. The children must be able to understand, what does God expect me as a daughter, as a son in this family, whether the parents are bad, mean, good, best, in whichever way. I believe when a child is well taught and they're growing up in a healthy way, they will desire to actually be the person they were created and they were born for. So it's independent. Whether you're given respect by your parents or not, remember the word of God, what it says. It will be difficult if you're not accorded the space for respect, if you're not accorded the place for honor and space for communication and expression, but you have a role. And when you go to answer, listen to me, children, when you grow up in your life, you start becoming accountable, even to your family, the ones you're hoping to have. One day when you go before the Lord will not ask you, why didn't you respect? Is it because your parents never respected you? Is that the reason why you did not reciprocate? He'll tell you, I asked you to honor your mom and dad. Just do your bit. But the challenge also is on us, because we need to lead the way. We need to show that we love by loving. We need to show, for example, that question you asked, we need to show that we are in charge of our emotions by not yelling, that there's no war, there's no third world war or fourth or fifth world war. We can take charge of our emotions in the worst of the moments, because really, you guys, you can try parents. You guys, you can do things that can make our anger to come up to there. So at that moment, I think it would be my moment to just say, okay, this one is this bad. There's always a better way to handle this conflict. Yes.
Okay, sure.
I hope I have answered.
You have.
Mm-hmm.
I do understand. I might disagree a bit, but I do understand. Understand.
Okay.
So now you know. Mwakenya haya tebune ocha nizime simu. These are the people. Okay. So like, as I grow up, like when I'm a kid, I'm always with you guys. But then now I grow up, I turn 13, 14. I start spending time with my friends more and more. Then in the high school, I become just in the boys' age. Okay, 19, 20. Suddenly, I'm all about my friends and barely about you. So, like, what do you think about, like, that stage where, like, kids tend to spend more time with their age mates and, like, kind of, like, drift away from their parents?
Wow. I think it's very, very logical. That question is very logical. It's valid and timely. One, it has been known, it's factual, that the age you have mentioned between 12 to even 18, thereabout, 17, thereabout, children in that age gap, they value their friendships with friends more than any other thing. Here's the difference. They don't value so much what their friends tell them more than they value what their parents tell them. The gap comes in when the parents are not able to give them valuable information. So they go outside there and what their friends are telling them, they think it's the world, they think it's what matters. But deep inside even a teenager's life, when parents make sense, when parents parent well, even when that child is going outside there and they're getting to get information, they're getting friendships and relationships, they always remember the echo of what their parents say. And they're able to tell, this one, you're just confirming that we are wrong, we are growing up. I don't mind. But I think we make the gap so big when we are not able to be there for you. When parents are not able to be there for their children, I am guilty of that. I am not 100. I always say I am not 100% perfect. I will never be. Perfect is not yet found here under planet Earth. However, we parent trusting God to help us because we are human beings. Even these people, they are humans and they have so many errors. But let's yes.
Yes, now, yeah.
You see now.
No, what? No, I just how jangi jo, small how jangi jo.
Wait. What kai hapo?
Okay.
Let it be there. I think we should be able to create a journey in parenting, one that it allows your son and daughter to go outside and be a friend to the ones she has picked. Because of course, by the grace of God, you have already taught them who are good friends. So they have common sense. They don't just pick anybody because you will sanction. I still believe that the parent has seen the other side of the coin and they're able to tell from afar that friendship is, that one, it's okay, it's sustainable. And it's a moment whereby a young teen is allowed to make mistakes. But why am I saying, without them saying, they still value the advice they were given. If they were given proper advice, even when they go and they're listening to their friends and they're really valuing them, in their hearts they always think, when I try this and that, I think my dad's information, it's more legit than what I'm hearing. It's the liberty, but it comes with responsibility.
Okay. Sure.
I don't have a beef, but I can sanction any friendship anytime.
Oh, okay. That's fine by me, honestly. Honestly, I'm not. I don't think I'll come out of my shell soon because it's not a secret that I don't have a big circle of friends. My social life doesn't exist outside of school. I think that's why I like school so much. Because once I get out of school, I have friends with neighbors. I only see, when you pass them, when you're coming, that's the time I say hi. Otherwise, I've only gone once to the neighbor's house. So
she's only supposed to make friends with her books and her schoolmates. So you're okay. So even you young people, for now, your best friends are your classmates, your schoolmates, your teachers, hopefully teachers. I am telling them to be friends with you because you'll put a lot of sense in them. And their books. Make books your friends and make God your ultimate friend over everything. Yeah, I said that.
Okay, so I feel like when people my age watch this and hear exactly what I've said, they'll be like, And I feel like if I had more friends or if I didn't agree with you, I'd also be like okay.
Yeah.
But then I do. Maybe it's because I think the fact to do that, as I've said, my social life doesn't exist outside of school.
Sure, yeah.
Also, I love reading books, not necessarily school books, but I love books. Yes. I also perform generally well, and I'm friends with my teachers. Yeah. So maybe it's because I agree with that. That's why I'm not Yeah. But yeah, I know some. I know some. I know almost everybody will disagree with this. Actually, I'm going to share this video with my friends.
They can comment and say if they agree with that.
Actually, who comment?
Yeah.
Who? My friend.
Then let them comment and others. It's okay.
Sure. Now, the last question. Now, I already know the answer to this question.
So but
okay, I'm done.
Okay.
This stereotype that African parents won't apologize, that their apologies will be like, utakula sapa, ama after they have cheated, utakula sapa, ama kuna kiatu mepima, nimenunua kuja upima, which is true. You have done that before. Actually, you've done that so many times. But I do know you're capable of apologizing because when you're wrong, I have seen you say, I am sorry, that was my fault. But I hear from my friends, it's like that's not a normal thing. Like your parents don't apologize to you. Like I was like, oh, okay. So mom.
Now, again, the natural way to respond to our errors is to defend our errors. That's the natural thing. When I wrong somebody, the way we are created, we feel like our ego will be hurt if we say, I am sorry. And I know when I'm also working somewhere, I am relating with people, and sometimes the people I'm relating with, they're able to tell, why can't she just say, I am sorry? Ishe. It takes a courageous person to realize that you won't die, you won't bleed, and it builds you more when you see your own error, because it means you're not repeating that error. But how people view life, they always think, if I apologize, I'm going to become a doormat. If I apologize, this person will see me as a weak person. I don't see that as, sensible. I think for parents, now I'm talking one like you. When you wrong your child, and you will wrong them either in the morning or noontime or in the evening. If you've never wronged, just tell us how you have managed, because I think you do. I know myself, I wrong my children, but I have learned it encourages them. It gives them a lot of hope when I'm able to see my own error, when I'm able to see life through their lenses. Sometimes they tell me sometimes they tell me uncomfortable things, and I'm thinking, I am your mother here. You ought not to be talking to me like that. But when I am thinking like that, I hear a lot of logic from them. I hear a lot of sense, and I hear a lot of challenge coming to me in the way I am trying to raise them versus the way I am handling issues. I say sorry. I'm not taking pride. I say sorry easily to my children because I've learned it. No, wacha wewe.
No, repeat.
Nebai.
Cap.
Hapo. Do I say sorry or don't I?
No, the easily part.
Wait. I'm not talking. Why? Do I say sorry or not? There we have it. Anyway, she's very argumentative. This one. So when when you say sorry to your child, you tell them you're human, and you tell them you actually are not an angel. You tell them you tell them you make mistakes, and when you own up to your mistakes, you teach them that in life you will make mistakes and you're expected to apologize. So it's not really, it's a stereotype, but parents nowadays, they are learning and they are desiring to have good relationships with their children. Okay. Even outside, there are many people, they are desiring to have good relationships and better relationships. So it's not all. And for you parents who are not able to say the word, I am sorry, sooner than later, you will, because your child will outgrow the teenage stage. They'll go to another stage whereby they are in school, university. They'll go to another one whereby they need you when they're relating. They need you when they're married. And you're going to realize your sorry will help them make their families better. Right?
Yeah.
So it's also godly. It's when you're broken, a broken spirit, a contrite spirit, God never despises that. God values that relationship when it is surrendered to Him.
Yes. Yeah. And you've had saying sorry doesn't mean that now everyone can step on you, that you're so timid. You actually are way more immature if you don't apologize than when you apologize. And people are more likely to respect that. Yeah. Someone who doesn't apologize, who walks away, who's always gets angry, that's very immature. And having an apology shows that you're able to understand the situation, understand that you are wrong, and look past it, and be willing to continue being friends with that person or having a good relationship with that person. So as usual,
and it also saying sorry is not for you, it's for me. You will be pacified, you will respect me more, but primarily sorry does not benefit you, it benefits me. I'm outgrowing so many immaturities. I'm outgrowing so many problems. I'm outgrowing my insecurities. I am outgrowing my pride. I am outgrowing so many things that come between me and God's will. So if we understand, whether we are parenting or in any other way, that sorry is not for the person you're apologizing. By the way, I'm a strong believer that some people will never be able to say sorry. I say it this way. Some people are not courageous enough to say sorry. So be the courageous one to say sorry so that you will be a stronger person.
And then personally, I think everyone in my class knows that when I stay mad at you, or maybe you don't know, but when I stay mad at someone, I genuinely can't stay mad at you for more than a day. Like it's impossible, because I'll get mad at you, then I'll go, I cry. After I cry, suddenly I'm not mad at you anymore. Then I try to be mad at you, najifanya hivi to see if you'll be like a bitch kwa lollipop, I'm sorry, then I forgive you. But generally, I can't stay mad at you for more than a day, because especially if I argue with you today, then I come tomorrow I'm not mad at you. Like, it's just, that's why when I'm ranting to someone, I usually prefer if they tell me, just tell me tomorrow, I won't do it, because tomorrow I won't be mad at them anymore.
You won't remember.
Yeah. And then now, like, also, whenever I argue with someone, I always apologize first. And usually it's whether I'm in the wrong or not. And I don't know whether that's a bad thing or a good thing. But regardless of whether I'm in the wrong or not, I usually go first and I apologize. If what I said was out of line, I say, that was out of line, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Now, the thing, if they can't accept the apology, that's not my problem. I did my part. I genuinely apologized. If you're unable to take it, then what do you want me to do now? Like, beg on my knees.
You walk light. When you apologize, always remember, it's for your sake. It's for your peace. As to whether the person you are apologizing to understands that it will help them to learn, that's up to them. In fact, in this life, you have to learn. Some people will never be able even to take your apology. When your apology is rejected, you can't just be there. But it's your duty to leave it outside there, so that somebody will not always say they wronged me, they offended me, and they never apologize. Have you ever heard that? We apologize for things we haven't done, things we're accused of, things we hear when they're being prayed for, and we still say, I am sorry, it came out that way. The point is, the bottom line is, are we genuine? We must be genuine when we are apologizing, because even children can say when we are academic with our apologies, when we are sorry, and they just look at us like this is a facade. But parents, be encouraged. God has given us the grace, even to just know that we want them to be like us. So sometimes I ask myself, Abin, and I don't always answer that question 100%. I'm working on it. If you were to turn out exactly like me, would I like me? So I'm working on myself every day as I think of you being, like me many years to come. So help me, God.
Okay, amen. So I wanted to end the video like 10 minutes ago. No, like it's like, no, not that.
You see her?
No, it's like I started saying the outro.
It is well.
Then we continue. But yeah. So, Mom, it's been a pleasure having you. I had fun, honestly. I enjoy these talks, especially the fact that I'm able to be so open with you, because I know some things I say, if my friends say them, RIP. But as one of our teachers said, tutaenda funeral yako na chakula mandondo na maisha yaendelee.
Wow.
If you're my classmate, you know what teacher that is. It's only one. But that is it. Kindly don't forget to subscribe to Mom's channel, Surrendered with Rachel Kimani. And I will see you guys next time. Bye, Mom. No.
You say this one?
I love you.
Bye-bye for now, and God bless you.